Welcome to another edition or extra dose edition of the Morning After with Nick Hamilton. So, I want to talk to you about a couple of things really quickly because some things going on in the world of sports these days. So you got the Indiana Pacers, who are extremely salty and acting real thirsty when it comes to the departure of Paul George and what his future lies like. It has anything to do with what the hell they have going on. And Jay-Z makes some interesting comments as it pertains to Lavar Ball, your man Puffy Knight, and his Big Baller Brand label. So, the Indiana Pacers have got to, I've truly come to the conclusion that they've lost their damn mind. Because these charges of tampering with Paul George is utterly ridiculous. I read some of the reports last night. I read some more this morning. And it basically alleges that Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, and the Los Angeles Lakers have interfered with, or influenced Paul George's decision and his future. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Paul George's agent actually informed the Indiana Pacers organization and Kevin Pritchard, who's the GM, and let them know that, you know what? He's not going to finish his career in Indiana. He's trying to go back west and go back home. My man is from L.A. or Palmdale, 661. Y'all know what it is. And he wants to finish his career and establish himself in the purple and gold and try to bring some prestige back to the Los Angeles Lakers and ultimately try to help them win another title or two. So, when I look at that and I listen to that, first of all, Paul George is in OKC to play with Russell Westbrook for this season. And then next season, when he becomes a free agent, PG13 has every right to go wherever the hell he wants to go, and he's made that choice that he wants to finish his career as a Laker. He's friends with Kobe Bryant. He respects the hell out of Magic Johnson. I mean, who doesn't growing up in L.A.? He's watched him as he grew up playing basketball at the Forum. So there's a connection there beyond him just being from the SoCal area. And Paul George has a right to go wherever he wants to go. So why are you acting salty if you're the Indiana Pacers? And why are you acting thirsty for attention? Because nobody's giving a damn about what you're doing. To the point it's so bad that a great legend like Larry Bird had to walk away from his position with the Indiana Pacers. So to me, it makes more sense to worry about what you're doing in Indiana. Try to get some pub and press beyond making erroneous accusations about what the Lakers have done or influenced or what have you, and focus on your team and focus on the players that you have and try to build your roster out. Hell, you're in the Eastern Conference. You got a clear-cut pathway, a little bit easier drive, I should say, to the playoffs because a lot of the players have switched back over west. So the West is going to be stacked. So you don't have to worry about a damn thing other than trying to get your fan base and continue to grow your fan base and get some players on the floor that people actually want to pay attention to. And you have a couple of those. Just saying. So I don't see the league slapping the hammer down on the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers being penalized because it really didn't do anything. It's just kind of laughable. If you're Magic Johnson, I know he's taking it seriously, but you got to have to laugh at this. And also, too, you got to remember, the league is better when the Lakers are better, when the Knicks are better, and when the Celtics are better. So why would you hustle backwards and cut your nose and spite your face to try to trip up the Lakers and mess their future plans up to make basketball in the league better because they're going to be a better, more competitive team in the next few years versus just continuing to suck and lay on the sideline like roadkill? Not going to happen. Anyway, I listened to the Jay-Z interview. I don't know how many of you out there had a chance to listen to the Jay-Z interview. It was really, really good. He covered a multitude of topics. It's on Tidal. It's a show, I believe, called Rap Radar with Elliott Wilson, and I forgot who the other dude is. But they kind of break down 444. They kind of break down some other topics. And one thing that stuck out to me, and I know it made headlines, I know it made headwaves, was about LeVar Ball, your man Puffy Knight, and his Big Baller Brand, label or franchise. And the thing that Jay-Z said was that, you know, everybody calls people crazy for having what they feel like is the wide-eyed ideas, but they actually are going to work. And so I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and in the heat of the conversation, he said something that I really didn't catch at the time. I really didn't pay attention to because I wasn't really in that headspace at that moment. But as I drove home and got home and thought about it, he made an interesting point. I never thought of it from this vantage point. And oftentimes, you know, sometimes you're in the heat of stuff and you listen, you're not really listening, but you hear it, but you're not listening, and it lays dormant in your brain because it's something that you need to think about. And I kind of been a little short-sighted on certain things. Now, first things first, I ain't backstroking, whatever. That's not me. I've never wanted LaVar Ball to fail at all. I always said he had a good idea. I always said he had a really solid idea, excellent idea with starting his own company, right? I just did not agree with some of his antics. I believe his antics were rubbing some people the wrong way. And some of the ways he went about it were not actually the best ways to go about it. But the fact that the man had the cojones to even want to branch out and start a company, and I was looking at the numbers because I was like, this dude is extravagant. He's throwing out all these extravagant numbers. So I'm looking at the numbers. Instead of just looking simply at the numbers, look at the impact of the numbers that he sold of his shoe or of his apparel or what have you. And I didn't look at that. And that's something that I kind of missed. And once I realized it, and I said, you know what? Even if this dude doesn't get as successful as he may think or some other level of expectation, he still opened up another door. He still created another lane that maybe somebody 5, 10, 15 years from now can actually go back and execute properly, or maybe more successfully. But it's going to cause players to think differently about their endorsement deals, their merch deals, any type of business deals, because they realize they are an entity. And so even before LaVar Ball, you got to credit Michael Jordan too, because Jordan, everybody thought Jordan was a fool for leaving Nike to start the Jordan brand, even though it was distributed by Nike, but he still had to start his own brand. Everybody thought he was crazy. Everybody thought he was a damn fool. But Michael was smarter than everybody else, because he's still getting huge checks, not just off his shoes from Nike, but other investments and his Jordan brand investment, because he was able to sign some big time NBA players, your Carmelo Anthony's, your Chris Paul's, your Russell Westbrook's, guys like that. And I can go on and on and on. So then you got LaVar Ball who said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with Nike. I'm just going to go straight up independent. I'm going to go the indie route. And you know what, like I said, I was with him. And I you know, we're going to shoot these jokes. That's what we do on the morning after. We shoot these jokes. You know, we have fun, whatever. But in all actuality, you know, it ain't that damn bad. Like I said, I saw a couple of shirts, you know. I ain't going to buy them shoes, though, because them shoes are like swap me knockoffs. I'm going to say that all day long. However, the fact that he's actually selling $500 shoes, you know, the man, like I said, the man has some cojones to put himself out there. And he is the Paul Heyman to what Lonzo Ball is Brock Lesnar. Because if you ever listen to Lonzo Ball, my goodness, I mean, he's not the most talkative dude in the world, not the most interesting dude in the world. So you have to really understand where he's coming from. You have to have a certain level of entertainment value. You have to have a real eye-opening experience. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens in the future. We'll see what the distribution deal is, if there is one. But you got to look at it from a different perspective, and that's what it's all about. So anyway, I got to go. I got to wrap it up. Until next time, make sure if you miss any portion of the broadcast, you can check me out on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/themorningaftershow1. You can also catch us in the iTunes store at The Morning After with Nick Hamilton, and catch us every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern on Dash Radio, Dash Talk Station. Make sure you hit us up, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter at Nick Hamilton LA. Thank you so much. Until next time, stay sharp. I'm out.